Well, I thought everyone might find it interesting if I did a video on why semi-automatic and submachine guns became sort of quite useful during World War II. And to do this I thought I could demonstrate it practically by displaying how big the guns are and how impractical room clearing would be with a big gun. Now obviously this will be standard knowledge for a lot of people watching these videos, but I know a lot of people enjoy videos like this, so why not go over it? But at the start of World War II, nearly every army had a bolt action rifle like this. This is a British Lee Enfield, but the Germans would have had the Mauser, and the Russians would have had the Nagant. And so, as you can see, it's a very big gun. So, in an enclosed space like this, you can see you've got problems. You can knock into walls with the gun. Also, there's another problem with a bolt rifle. Most are 5 rounds, the Enfield's 10. But the issue is, between shots, you have to cycle it. So if you are trying to actually clear a room, you'd have to only shoot one person before cocking it again, which is completely impractical, and you'd be limited to 5 to 10 rounds, so you'd need to reload very quickly. So to demonstrate that this really does get in the way, I can't turn to go through the doorway here because it will bang into the wall. You can always hold it like this, but then that makes it slower to cycle, and maybe if you had it a bit sort of like that, it'd be a bit faster, and I've managed to lock the bolt in. So it's, yeah, as you see, these would be very impractical for actual urban warfare. But moving on. So then you've got something like the Soviet PSH. Now this suddenly becomes a lot more practical, because you've got the submachine gun, it's shorter. I can swing it between doors like this, and there were some submachine guns that would be even shorter than this one, to give you an idea. So you can obviously swing it around like this. Now there's one good factor about this, very good factor. It's fully automatic and it holds a lot of ammunition. This round drum would hold 71 rounds. So it means that when you look into a room, you can spray it if you need to, and you've still got ammo left. You don't have to cycle it per shot when shooting, so it's much more cleared. So obviously submachine gun has a big advantage there. Now you've got something like the M1 carbine, which is great because it does both. This has only got a 15 round magazine on it for the World War II variant, but the Korean War ones had 30 round banana mags. And also the M2 carbine, which came later, was fully automatic as a function on the fire selector, whereas this is only semi-auto. But still, this is a bit longer than the PPSH, so I have to stand a bit further back to get clearance, but you've still got semi-automatic function, which is better. And as you can see, it's much lighter than the Enfield, so even if you're doing this with the hip, it would still be fine. So what I'll do now, to give you an idea, is I'll put the camera back a bit, and we'll go down the corridor with each of the guns, and I'll show you how much more practical room clearing is of a shorter gun. And if I had an even shorter gun, you know, obviously a pistol would work well as well, but if I had like an even shorter submachine gun, whatever, I could demonstrate how that would be better, but let's go for it. So I'm going to come down the corridor. First I'm going to be doing it with the Enfield, and this should hopefully demonstrate how impractical a long rifle is for doing it. Now as you can see, I bumped into things a few times because of how long the rifle is, so keeping it actually out of the way of things is quite difficult. Now we'll do it with the PPSH. As you can see, that was much easier. Now the M1 carbine's a bit longer than the PPSH, but it should still be relatively simple. Right, hopefully that video's demonstrated just why it's so much easier with a shotgun and the practicalities of a shotgun or submachine gun with automatic or semi-automatic rates of fire compared to a bolt rifle.